Good afternoon, I'm the Gentleman, this is the Gentleman's Pixel Club, and this is Konami Supermini Festival, a GTI game. Before we go any further, I want you to stop and read the screen and take a note. So, assuming you have read that, you have got fair warning that there may be side effects from watching this video. Some people get VR sickness, some people get motion sickness, and this is a game where for the first time in my life I have ever had what I believe to be motion sickness, not while playing it that I felt, but it came on afterwards. So reviewing this video is a playback is going to be a little bit tough because I'll kind of be in fear of it coming back again, for want of a better word, but we're going to give it a go. You've read the warnings. If at any point you feel sick, you feel giddy, stop. This is not here to make you ill or anything else like this, but I have to give this warning. This is a family-friendly channel, and this particular game made me ill. So here we go. So you have a warning here that you don't have time to read, and you've got the GTI Club Supermini Festival loading screen. This game is being played on the TeknoParrot emulation. That does a lot of arcade games, which are pretty bloody good on how it emulates them. You've got Outrun, you've got Dead or Alive 5, you've got this game here. There's a whole load of others as well. The file sizes for these games are absolutely huge. I believe that when I got this, it came from Arcade Punks, and it was a real big download, but it was absolutely worth it. Just to put in perspective here, I'm going to quickly flash up a picture of my TV here. This is how I played this, so I was right in front of it, really close. This is likely why I felt ill, because it was a massive screen, and the recording is actually a little bit smaller that's been done here in terms of the size of the screen, but it was just probably too much for me to comprehend. So you've had enough warning, off we go. This is a 4-player race. I used to own this game when I had a PlayStation 3. Absolutely loved it on there, with no sign of motion sickness whatsoever or feeling ill in any shape or form. The controls are a little bit juddery when you play this, in terms of there's a lot of the spinning of the wheels, or kind of lean the car very heavily. In the arcades, this comes with a steering wheel, so you are playing the game with a steering wheel in a bucket seat that it puts you in as well. Here I'm not, you've just seen the environment that I'm playing on with the screen in front of me. This is what I look at, so things are a little bit different in terms of how that plays, how that looks. When I played this on the PlayStation 3, or a version of this, because this is a much more comprehensive version than what existed on the PlayStation 3, the game was suitably different. The controls handled a lot better because you only had the 2 thumbsticks all there, and they built the game, they designed the game for that system to be controlled by that. This is taking an arcade pure game, the arcade code, and running it on a PC, and this would have ran on a PC, and this is what the TeknoParrot does, is it plays effectively the PC files. These are files that you can look at. You're not downloading a single ROM for this, you're downloading a whole collection of files and submitting patches to work. It's not the easiest thing to set up, but it's great. As per normal, I am in 4th position here. I hope you wouldn't have expected anything more. I do try and do a little bit better on this, but not particularly great, certainly not on the opening lap. But we are in France, and that is to be expected. How could I drive well in France, where people apparently drive on the other side of the road? It's just not possible. For the moment, I'm in did you see that? I was in 2nd just for a moment, as I bashed my way through absolutely everything, trying to get to the checkpoint, trying to do the last lap, but spinning out here. And I'm sure that should have done more damage hitting the train, and a little bit of clipping, as you see there. You probably wouldn't see that clipping on the real arcade machine, and it's the only thing that I've kind of noticed that I felt was wrong with this, apart from, as I say, that the controls being a little bit different and me not being at my best with them. But I'm in 1st place. The Gentleman is coming first till he had a time loss. So I'm in 4th place. I'm in my usual ranking. I'm in the usual place where I should be for these games. And I have finished 4th. Wonderful. But I was in France. They drive on the wrong side of the road. What could you expect? There are other modes to this game. So what we're going to do is we're going to play one of the party type games here. Think Mario type situations where you get a lot of little party games, and then we're gonna do one more your play game to see how I do. The menus for an arcade game are reasonably complicated, lots of things to click on before you get to where you need to be doing here. So yeah, quick start, manual selection, what are we going to do? Party games.
Select the game mode you want to play.
So after looking at those, we are going to go for bomb tag. If I want to play football games, I will play Rocket League. Well, I'll play Rocket League badly. Biggest choice I have here is what car am I going to do? Automatic transmission, one less button for me to push, and basically 3 rounds of tag with bombs. The map is much smaller now for this particular minigame. Look on the bottom right, you can see the highlighted play area that you've got. You know, you really have nowhere to go around. And the other car has the bomb. There's a timer ticking down as well. You've effectively got 60 seconds to survive. And he's passed me the bomb. Now what I've got to do is chase after the blue car and touch him to give him the bomb. A really helpful message at the bottom telling me that if the bomb explodes, I'm dead, and it's saying run for it. Well, I'm not sure that's me that's running for it. I think it's more the blue car that's running for it. There he is, and managed to pass that back to him before I quickly nip away using all the skills that I've got.
Someone seems to be hiding somewhere.
And he is way too close to me then. So we're trying to sneaky nip up here. And I actually think I'm going to make this 5, 3, 2, 1. And the bastard passes me the bomb on the last second. I assure you, I do not play these games to be so bad where I am. You know, so bad with this skill. This is just crazy.
Round 2. 3, 2, 1, go!
I like the fact that my car is a little bit more damaged there as well. You can see the bomb's gone off already. You know, this is very much like the Fast and the Furious cars. In those films, they very easily get repaired. You know, but the structure is still there. But yeah, so they just haven't done the paint. You know, again, being chased by the blue car, you can see the little blue arrow that points to where he is. So I figured if I can keep him at distance and I can just continue to do this loop, nothing can go wrong, and you know, I will be absolutely fine here. Interesting point. So, damn, again. Yeah, interesting point. So I'm watching this again on the playback as I'm talking through it, and I mentioned at the opening that I did feel motion sickness having played the game, and I think it's probably because of the size of the TV screen that I had there. But I have to say, I feel absolutely fine, you know, watching this. But as I said at the opening of the video, if you do feel sick of watching the jugginess of this, the way that it moves around as I die again, please, please, please stop the video. These videos are not here to, you know, create motion sickness. If you want to do that, go and buy a VR set. Go and get the earliest VR type games that you can find, and you will have your own motion sickness. And you can do it whenever you want. Look how quickly I passed that bomb. Now, can I survive in my really damaged, at least damaged paintwork, blackened car for another 45 seconds? No, I can't. But on the plus side, that gives me 40 odd seconds now to go and find him. I think I've lost this anyway because it's the best of 3 if I recall, and you know, he's had 2 of them, so why the game didn't end at that point, I guess it's because in the real world where you actually pay to play and you're not on a free play setup as you are here, you would want to have all your money's worth on the credits, and I suppose it just gives you skill and practice for next time. And look at this, I have now just over 10 seconds to survive. You know, I've got to get one win on here. Is it? Oh, there he was. It's a little bit frightening when they come up close to this tent. So I'm trying to steer, not hit into anything like that car. And that was fortunate. No, it wasn't. The bomb still went to me. Oh, for God's sake. I actually thought I had survived that. Second, Mr. Number 2. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Continue.
So we're now going to play one more game of this, and you can pick what country you're going to be in. So France. France was shit. We died in France, or came fourth in France. We are going to go to lovely England for one more race.
Select a course.
I think that's meant to be Wembley in the background there, but because of our skill, we're also going to pick beginner. You know, for people that are so bad at games, they have to have a level to make them think they achieve something, when really, if you fail at beginner level, what's the point?
Select a transmission.
Automatic transmission for those that don't have enough fingers, like me. I have my fingers, I'm just not good at using them.
These are your selections.
And here we go. I think London skyline is a little bit different from what we see now, but you get the idea. We're away from France. We're now just going to go for this in London. You know, this would be where Michael Caine would have trained for the Italian job, as he drove around London in all his minis at speeds like this.
Go for it. Curve dash.
Loving the artwork on here, loving the graphics on here, and you know what? Kind of loving the gameplay even I'm screeching around here. But I'm moving swiftly into first place.
You've done it. Curve dash.
See, the moment I do anything even remotely well, I manage to wipe out.
Oh, you're way behind.
This is why I didn't do very many real sports in life. I would have probably suffered so much injury here that, you know, the doctor would have been said, look, you guys, you just got to give up on this. Stop playing sports. Stop hurting yourself. You know, all I am is grateful for these big yellow signs on the road there that tell me where to go. You know, I truly would have no idea. I'm that far behind. I can't even. Oh, I can see them now. I was that far behind. I couldn't even see the competitors that I'm racing against. And you know, you need to see them to have some idea of where you're going if you haven't got great big neon signs to help you. You know, sometimes I think when my missus was driving years ago, we could have used those neon signs in the road to show her the way to directions. She was absolutely awful. A couple of you know me in real life here. You know, those of you that do, if you ever meet my son and myself in the same thing, ask him one question. What happened once on the way to Taekwondo? I will never tell anybody this directly, but that is a question for my son. If you ever have a chance to meet him, for those that do know me in real life that may be watching this, what happened to my son on the way to Taekwondo once? So that is the question, and we will leave it at that. As we leave me in first place. You know, this is the last game. This is the final lap that I'm on. Nothing can go wrong. You know, I am streets ahead of these. We can see them in the distant mirror here, at least the second place one. I hope that rubber banding is not in play where everybody is going to take me over. But you know, this is it. This is the time where the gentleman may actually come first. No. So the gentleman may actually come second here. You know, let's see if I can pull this out of a hat. And we're coming to the final now. And oh no. Oh, that's a checkpoint. That's not a final. You know, when you're looking at this, you can make easy mistakes. But I am back in first. You know, the first position. You know, surely it's got to end at some point now. And yes, that's the finish. Finally, I have won something on the easiest level possible. Look, I am first, but you know what? There's plenty of other games for me to lose at. So, hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you've enjoyed me actually coming first at something. Pray that you've got through this, and due to the screen, it hasn't made you feel sick or anything the way it judges around when you go around the corners. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Game over.
Game